Ridiculous. Hi guys. Basically, today we're gonna do Crimes of Grindelwald, which is like Fantastic Beasts 2, and it's a movie review about that. Welcome back to the show, man. It's been so long since I saw you guys. I mean, for you guys, you saw me last week or like last week. But the truth is, I haven't been vlogging for like I think like 1 month or something because of studies and all that crap. But anyway, I was trying to mimic the Hogwarts soundtrack just now. If you guys don't know, I tried my best. I'm not sure if I'm good enough at it. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I tried my best, man. Okay, let's start this review. Boom! So right here I have like 7 great points about the movie to share with you guys. The first one will be the bridge between the characters between the first movie and the second movie is very strong. There's not much of a gap there. It seems everything is very smooth flowing, and we got to understand what happened between the time gap between the first and the second movie and how everybody is doing right now and right then. And if you guys thought that the Harry Potter soundtracks were great, I think this movie was particularly good as well. It had a lot of rhythm and sense in it. I shall not explain much to you guys. You guys gotta listen to it for yourselves. But it's pretty good. The soundtracks are good. Okay, so the third point is I felt that the movie was rather suspenseful. Like we couldn't tell what was going on. I mean, what would happen. I think this is partly also because the people who usually read the books, they don't have any books to reference to in this movie. So it's like everybody's going into the unknown. I mean, for Harry Potter, people had like books that they can read and reference on, and pretty much those people spoiled the entire freaking movie to those that haven't read the books. So that's pretty nasty of them, but for Fantastic Beasts, everything is wiped to a clean slate and everybody start at the same point. So there's no point of reference at all, which is fantastic. And that creates a very suspenseful plot line for the entire movie, for the first and the second one. And apart from the story being suspenseful in itself, I also thought that, okay, basically this is the fourth point, but I also thought that the story was great. I think it was very interesting. It flowed in a very interesting direction. No argument about that. It was just a good story. And the fifth great point about this movie is how there are very interesting character developments within this movie and very interesting relationship developments between characters within the movie itself. I think it's very interesting to see how Dumbledore was related to Grindelwald, the bad guy here, and how Newt is related to this guy here. I think he's his brother. I'm not quite sure if he actually appeared in the first movie itself. I can't remember because it's been a while since I watched the first movie. I watched the first movie when it actually came out in cinemas 2 years ago, so I couldn't really remember anything, but this guy is his bro and this guy is Newt. And the relationship between these two are discussed within this movie and actually developed within this movie itself. Another relationship within the movie that will be developed is this guy, I forgot his name, is Jacob, is it? This guy, my man, my favorite character out of the whole movie. He's my man, I love him, man. Completely, I mean, he's the best character. Like, he's so relatable and he's just my man, man. Anyway, this guy's relationship with this woman, she's probably like his fiance or something like that, his girlfriend. Basically, these two, their relationships will be explored. Basically, there's a lot of character development for Newt, for Dumbledore, for Jacob, for Grindelwald, and a few other characters. I don't quite remember their names, so I will just put their pictures around here so you can reference them. But a lot of pretty interesting things went down within the movie, and each character actually had their own sort of like a mini story arc, which eventually led them down to a path where it is completely unpredictable. And that's great about this movie, seriously. Sixth great point about this movie is the perfect mixture of drama, action, and comedy. All these three within this movie, and it's perfectly mixed together. It doesn't feel like something is a little bit more than the other. It has sort of like an equal mix. Although I would say there's a lot of action, but the truth is, you know, who doesn't like action? But everything is mixed perfectly well. Okay, the seventh great point about this movie, which is technically the last great point about this movie, is basically, you guys don't know, this movie is actually a build-up film. which means like not to spoil you guys, but just to inform you guys. It's a build-up film, so there's no real conclusion at the end. Despite being a build-up film, this film has actually a pretty solid conclusion, a pretty solid ending, I would say. I thought that the pacing for this movie was very good. It went like a mountain up, and then the ending was basically the climax, and after that it went down. It was a pretty solid ending, pretty solid conclusion to build up on the third film. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but it's pretty solid. Especially kudos to my man Johnny Depp for playing Grindelwald. My man Johnny Depp has like evil within him, man. Like, he is so good at acting as a bad guy. Oh man, like the truth is, I felt that Johnny Depp in this movie felt like how he was when he was playing Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. Mainly because the ideologies between the two characters is like similar. Like, they want freedom within the world. They want the world to be free. They don't want to be held back by anything. They both have the same mindset. That's the crazy part. And yet, Jack Sparrow is the protagonist of a movie, and Grindelwald is the antagonist of another movie, and yet both of them have the same mindset and they share the same beliefs and ideologies. And that's just crazy. I just love the character, man. I just love Grindelwald as the character because he's not like technically a bad guy. He's more like an anti-hero, and he wishes the wizardry world to be free. He wants freedom for the wizardry world, and he doesn't believe in suppression. He doesn't believe in living below the humans, living in secrecy. He believes that they should stand up for themselves, which is, I think, is great, man. The idea for this character is amazing. But nonetheless, the main point for this point is basically the ending of this movie. Despite being a build-up film, was pretty solid. It was a good conclusion. Okay, so we move on to the bad points now. I think I have like a four bad points. First flaw of the movie, those people that haven't watched the first one, the first Fantastic Beasts, which is this, probably wouldn't understand much about this movie. Probably seemed like pretty confusing at first. I felt that way because I hadn't touched the movie in 2 years. I had no idea what's going on, but some characters felt familiar. So I managed to slowly grasp what was going on. And I might need to rewatch this movie again just to understand a clearer picture of what's going on within the context of the second movie itself. Second flaw of this movie, some parts were actually difficult to understand. I can't really tell you guys which parts were difficult to understand because it might be a spoiler or something. Because there was one point where a certain character has no background at all, and basically they introduced this character. I think he's the same guy that acted as the Flash in Justice League. This fella, yeah. Basically this character is a completely new character. He was just introduced, and his backstory is pretty confusing to me. I didn't get it like right away. I still didn't get it. I'm still trying to get it, and especially my Chinese princess here, this girl which can transform into a snake. I forgot her name or something. Her story is pretty confusing as well. I don't think she has a story. She doesn't have a backstory, but the relationship between this girl and this guy is pretty confusing. No idea what's going on. Other than the backstories of these two characters and the context behind them, there are other parts to this movie that were confusing as well. Not gonna say particularly what kind of things because it might be a spoiler, but there were parts that were pretty confusing. The third flaw of this movie is basically how, you know, the theme of this movie is Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, I know, like these kind of beasts or that kind of beast that you see in the first movie. Basically this movie has beasts as well, particularly this one and that one as well. I felt like the directors tried pretty hard to keep the movie within the realm of like Fantastic Beasts itself, but apparently this movie is like trying to become more and more like a Harry Potter kind of style kind of movie. Like, instead of focusing on Fantastic Beasts, they are focusing more on like wizardry, magic, spells, stuff like that. Stuff that is going on within the wizarding world. It's becoming more of a Harry Potter story as compared to a Fantastic Beasts kind of story. I think if you guys are a fan of the Fantastic Beasts movie, the first one, and not really a fan of like the Harry Potter series, you guys will be a little bit disappointed by the movie. It's not really more centered on fantastic beasts as compared to wizarding and the wizardry world and the magic and spells and all that stuff, which might be pretty disappointing to some of you guys. But for those that like Harry Potter, yeah, this is the story for them, man. And the fourth flaw of the entire story is basically plot holes. If you guys don't want to hear any plot holes like spoilers or like hints of the story itself, you can skip to this timing. I'll give you like 5 seconds, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so basically what happened was, in the introduction of the movie, basically we will see Grindelwald escaping from prison. As you guys know, in the first movie, the ending of the first movie, he was kept in prison, the magic prison, wizardry prison, or whatever you call it. And the introduction of the second movie is where he breaks out of the prison. And apparently he has been trying to escape for a very long time, which one of the guards told another person or something like that. Basically they have been saying that he was trying to escape for a long time, and they cut off his tongue so that he wouldn't speak to any of the guards, and he wouldn't persuade them or anything like that. So his tongue was like cut off or something like that. Pretty gruesome stuff. So when he escaped from the prison, his tongue was cut off, and somehow he cast a spell or something with another guy, or switched bodies with another guy, and his tongue came back. That part was never really explained. I think a lot of people also had no idea what was going on, but basically his tongue came back, and that's just weird, man. That's just really weird, and that's just like mind-blowing. Like, what the heck. And another plot hole is towards the ending, where Grindelwald was summoning everybody, all his supporters, at a Colosseum place. I'm not sure if I can get a photo. If there's a photo, it's probably here. But basically he summons all his crew, his supporters at one place, and somehow he manages to arrange a meeting between Jacob, the African American guy, another African American girl, and basically Jacob was not inside. And I thought back then Jacob actually went to the place, to the graveyard, the first. If you remember, I'm not sure if you guys watched the movie. If you guys watched the movie, you remember that Jacob went to this place the first. He was the first to reach there, and somebody pointed the wand at him. And basically in this part where everybody was there, we don't see Jacob at all. What happened next was there was a confrontation, and the history of Credence, the Flash guy, was basically being like recited. Everybody was like clarifying their doubts and all this, like freaking a math class, and everybody had no idea what is differentiation, and everybody was like over there saying like, teacher, what the hell is going on? It's basically like kind of confrontation. And what happened was, everything was sorted out, and suddenly a door opened, and when the door opened, we see my boy Jacob over there standing like, what the hell is going on? The discontinuity is so huge that I was so triggered, man. At least for Credence and Margot, this girl, the two of them basically arrived at the place, I think the second before the African American guy came, which is this guy. So basically the continuity is there, but for Jacob there's no continuity. Like, he just disappeared from one place to another place. He's like some ninja dude. I had no idea what's going on, but basically he just disappeared. Okay guys, so we have just come to the end of the entire review. Hope you guys enjoyed the review itself. In conclusion, if you guys are a Fantastic Beasts fan, like you like the first movie, come on man, why not watch the second movie? Although I would say that there were a few flaws, at least they tried to stick on to the first movie's theme, but I can see that the third movie will go on towards a more mystical and wizarding kind of story, instead of like a Fantastic Beasts kind of story. Okay, so I'll end the video here. Hope to see you guys in the next video, which is probably gonna be a Wreck-It Ralph 2 movie review. Hope you guys will see that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching all the way until the end. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. If you had any opinions about the movie itself, do comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video. This is Lord of Thought, and see you guys. Peace out. Or should I say, Alakazam! Boom! I think it's very interesting to see how Dumbledore was related to Grindelwald, the bad guy here, and how oh, there are a lot of characters within this movie. Shit, I just blanked out and I don't know what to do for the abracadabra. I'm sorry. What the hell am I doing? What the shit?